Hey, Berserk is one of the most popular manga of all time, with a bit of a cult following. It's gory, it's violent, it has this awesome story, this awesome lead character, really cool villains. And yet there hasn't been that many video games for it, much less ones that are considered pretty good. And now that has changed with Berserk Band of the Hulk. Berserk and the Band of the Hulk. This is a game that's made by Megaforce, the guys behind Dynasty Warriors. And that means different things for different people. But I want to dispel all your concerns right now if you think, oh God, this is just going to be some mindless port with a Berserk skin attached to it. No, I want to let you know that Berserk and the Band of the Hulk is one of the best ways to digest Berserk media. Pretty much second only to reading the manga. Now, why do I say that? Because there are animes that follow, the Berserk manga. Well, the reason I say that is that Berserk and the Band of the Hulk really follows the events of the manga more closely than the anime even do. And in some ways, it tells the story better than anime does. Now, back in the 90s, there was a Berserk anime that's pretty much excellent. It followed the manga real closely, but they left key story elements out. And in this game, they show those story elements. They show how certain characters were introduced earlier in that anime that wasn't shown in the anime. Now, Berserk has came back in animated form in the last couple years. And the reason why this game is superior to that is because the anime has been made with this kind of 3D CGI style that just doesn't touch the hand-drawn animation of the original. So I'm saying all that to say, if your experience with Berserk just came from the anime series, the first part leaves stuff out, which makes the second part be slightly incomplete, plus the second part has been done in a more cheap way. So without a doubt, the manga's the best way to digest it, but this game is a great companion tool, almost on the level of a Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm. Now, I'm trying to talk about the game and its story without spoiling too much, just in case you hadn't, read or watched the anime before. But what I will say is this for those who have read and who have watched the show, is that this game covers pretty much the beginning of the Berserk through the end of the Millennium Falcon arc, which is probably further along than even the current season of the anime is going to end at. And while it shows a lot, it shows the details of very important things, I could say from reading a lot of the manga and seeing all of the anime up to this point that it doesn't show everything. So I don't think it would spoil you if you was to play this game. Rather, it would just enhance your experience and your knowledge. You'll have a deeper understanding of the lore, more so than if you was to just watch the anime or just watch the movies. And in some ways, maybe more so than reading the manga because, this game is properly translated. Whereas, a lot of people read fan translated things. But now getting back to the game itself, I think it does really good because the Dynasty Warriors style of gameplay really fits here. The main character, Guts, swings around a giant sword and he kills hordes of people or demons all the time. And this translates real well here. And they have boss battles. They convey most of the major battles in the manga or in the series very properly. So if it's a one-on-one battle, they're gonna let it be one-on-one in the game. If it's a battle with a ton of people, then yeah, they'll expand it a bit, but it still follows the story. The gameplay here fits exactly. And it in that sense, if you play the Dynasty Warriors game, yeah, the gameplay is similar, but it's just been tailored to fit the Berserk universe. Now, if you haven't played the Dynasty Warriors game or an Omega Force type of game, this just means that you're put on a map with a ton of soldiers or a ton of people to fight. And your character is typically just far stronger than him, whereas he could just swing, you can attack and just kill waves of them with a swing of your sword. Occasionally, stronger units will appear that you'll have to put more focus onto to take down, but mostly you're a killing machine in these games, and that doesn't change here. You're a killing machine, but the bosses and certain other powerful fighters do give you a challenge. Now, in this game, you get to play as more than just Guts. You get to play as Casca and Griffith. You also get to play as Judeo and even a couple of enemies like Zod and some of the heroes from the latest part of the story. And the main draw here is the story mode. Like I say, it's full featured. If all you've done is watch the anime, it goes past that. And I think it does a better job at telling the story than the anime. Not extremely better, like I say, the anime will cover more, but there are some things that the game covers that the anime doesn't cover. So it's well worth checking out. But beyond just that, which is a many hours to get through, and it's very satisfying to play, there's also an endless eclipse mode where you can take any one of the playable characters into this dungeon setting where you have to fight under varying conditions and keep traveling down until you get to possibly level 100. You level up and you get rewards that can boost your health or unlock art, things of that nature, and it varies depending on the person and the missions that you pick. The gameplay was so fun in the story mode that I think you're gonna be wanting more to play, and Endless Eclipse really nails this. This gives you a lot more to do, making this game well worth the purchase. But like I say, the thing that I've been most impressed with playing this is kind of its attention to the story. While they do a lot of scenes from the manga and the anime in this game, they also make sure they include some of the smaller moments in these section called events. Sometimes these are fully acted out scenes. A lot of times it's just audio, but it really covers the bulk of Berserk's story, and it definitely hits the most important beats up to the point where it stops at. I can't stress it enough how well done this is. Now, I played it on the PlayStation Vita, and I was shocked at how well the game ran. I mean, it didn't have bouts of slowdown, except for in the most extreme situations. And even then, it didn't really hinder my enjoyment of the game. So if you was worried about playing it on the Vita, it is available, I believe, on the PlayStation 4 as well. But it does look good on the Vita. In fact, I think it's perfect for the Vita, given your ability to just carry it around with you and stop it, put it on standby, especially for the Endless Eclipse mode, which is whenever you stop, you have to start over. And just, if this is the kind of the quality that Omega Force has gotten to, because they usually get a lot of these anime franchises, I mean, they deserve a lot of credit. The music, the voice acting, it seems to be pulled straight from the show. Now, another thing someone might have a question about is, some of the more intense scenes from Berserk. Is that in there? what I'll say is that they're represented. I don't want to go into detail in case you hadn't seen it, but I'll just say that it's represented. And for all intents and purposes, I highly recommend this game to any fan of the Berserk franchise or someone who was looking to get into the Berserk franchise but who didn't want to read the manga. Like, the manga is the best way to digest it, but this is probably the next best way to digest it. Like, I would, if I'm not gonna read the manga, I'll play this game and then watch the anime. You know, that's how good this game is. And that's why I want to give it a very solid 8.5 out of 10. It's excellent. You should pick it up on a PlayStation 4 or the PlayStation Vita. It's well worth your money. Kudos to Omega Force. So I hope you enjoyed the review. And until next time, peace.